Why are some things easy to manifest and others are difficult? Or why do some people manifest faster and some people have difficulty manifesting the things that they want? Hey guys, hope you're well. And in this video, I will clear this doubt that I get from most people that Karan, you post success stories, you talk about your clients. Some clients get success faster, some clients take a lot of time getting success. Why is that? Why is that some people get success faster and some people take more time? Or I'm easily able to manifest in my money life or in my wealth, but it is so difficult for me to manifest in my relationships, or vice versa. Why does that happen? So in this video, I will talk about all of these things. I will give you all the necessary reasons why this happens. I will also tell you what you can do to fix it. So the first thing that I would like to say at the start of this video is that none of the things that I'm going to say might matter if you are just constantly impatient. So none of these things would matter if you're constantly impatient. None of these things would make sense if after every few days you're constantly checking the physical world. If you're constantly checking where is it, when will it happen, what should I do, well, when will it come, what new techniques can I do to get this faster. So eventually what you have to understand is no matter how much you are working on yourself, the how of the manifestation journey is not in your control. I will repeat it again. The how in the manifestation journey is not in your control. Because the how is not in your control, you cannot know when it will come. You can have a guess of it, it can come in a particular time, but you trying to orchestrate it or trying to make it faster wouldn't really help. Now, why does it happen that some people manifest things faster and some people don't? Or you manifest things faster in one area of your life and not in the other? So, the first reason why this happens is resistance. Now, what is resistance and how to see what causes resistance to make our manifestations come slower? So, resistance can mean anything, but here what I'm necessarily talking about is resistance when it comes to your opposite thoughts, opposite feelings, negative perceptions, and things in that regard. It is usually more mental than physical. So resistance that you will feel will usually be more mental. What is resistance and why does it come? It's because your old self is very comfortable. Your past self, the old you, the version of you that doesn't have what you want is very comfortable. And whenever you are trying to go from one place to the other, whenever you are trying to manifest, let's say you are trying to manifest love, and right now you are single, you don't have the love that you want, and you're wanting a specific relationship with your specific person. The gap in between is going to transform you from the person who doesn't have it to the person who has it. And the person who has it will automatically get the manifestations in their life. What happens in this middle process, though, is we get resistance. We get a lot of opposite thoughts. We get a lot of fears. We also might get negative feelings. The way that we handle resistance makes a huge difference on how fast we will receive our manifestations or not. Because if the way that we handle resistance is by constantly reacting, constantly just questioning, constantly having reactions towards the circumstances, towards people, emotional reactions, then that is going to make sure that it turns into a similar pattern of us not getting what we want. And that is why in some areas of your life, you're able to manifest faster because in some areas of your life, you're not that reactive. But when it comes to other areas of your life, you're just as reactive. That is why you will see many people talk about how they are so easily able to manifest money. But when it comes to relationships, they have a lot of difficulty because they react a lot. They question a lot because they're constantly taking in indications from the other person and reacting because of it. So the way that you handle resistance is going to make sure that you manifest things faster or late, right? So learning how to handle resistance is actually a very important thing. I have a video linked in my bio where I talk about how you can handle resistance. You should check that out and it will really help you. The second reason why you are manifesting slow in one area of your life and manifesting fast in another areas of your life is the trauma that you have from your past. So what is trauma? If I have to simply explain it, trauma is something that happened with me in the past that still carries weight till now. It can carry weight till now in terms of my beliefs, in terms of my circumstances, in terms of my perceptions, and in terms of my fears. The things that I want can also come out of that. The things that I'm afraid to go after can also come out of that. Trauma is the biggest reason why sometimes your manifestation can take time. A big reason why you are also able to manifest some things faster and some not is because in some areas you don't have that level of trauma that you have in other areas of your life. Trauma affects your life in multiple ways. It can affect your life in terms of how you take decisions, What are the perceptions that you are creating? And in fact, how much resistance you get is also based out of that trauma. Of course, every different person has a different reason and a different trauma that they are carrying, which is making their life into their own condition. But I will help you understand this with the help of an example. So let's say I come from a background. Let's say there is a client, for example, let's call him A. Let's say A comes from a background where he has had a lot of wealth, but he saw his parents getting divorced. Now, how A took it as he was growing up is he developed this mindset that money is easy to get, money is not really that difficult, but in relationships, it's not really safe to trust people because people leave. Maybe he saw his mom cheating on his dad. Just an example. And if something like this has happened, maybe growing up, he constantly was worried that women will leave him. So either he was pushing them away or he was sabotaging his relationships because he was constantly afraid that women will leave him. So he left them first before they have a chance to leave them. This is something we all do. We would rather leave the other person first so that we feel less hurt rather than actually being vulnerable and allowing a relationship to come in. Now, because of this, let's say he's A is manifesting a specific person, he will constantly be worried and he will constantly have resistance when it comes to that topic because he has an unconscious conditioning that women cheat or women will leave him or relationships involve some sort of toxicity. If this is the belief that he has developed, he will have a very difficult time manifesting relationships because every time he will come closer, his fears will come out, his beliefs will come out, his actions will be based on that, and he will start reacting on those. Maybe his interpretations will be based on those. Maybe his perceptions will be based on those. And because he will keep on reacting, keep on reacting, keep on reacting, he will end up not getting what he wants. Or he will end up delaying the time because he's constantly reacting to the physical world. So, this is how your trauma can affect your life. This is how trauma can actually stop you from receiving your manifestations. Another reason why you are able to manifest some things faster and some not is because of the fears that you hold. So, life lies outside of your comfort zone. This is one sentence we have all heard this from either an Instagram reel or some motivational guru. Someone I have said it many times that life lies outside of your comfort zone. But what does that mean? Let me give you this, psychological understanding of it. So our brain, your brain wants you to live. That's the primary reason why it's there. It doesn't care if you actually are in a relationship or not. It cares if you're alive. To make sure that you're alive, your brain needs to create some patterns, right? And the patterns that your brain creates, even if they hurt you, as long as they are making sure that you're alive, your brain is okay with that. So if you have lived your life a certain way, let's say you have lived your life single, you are still alive. You are still not emotionally hurt a lot. Because of that, your brain considers this to be your safe place. So when you try to go away from this, your brain gives you fears because it wants to pull you back. It wants to tell you that, hey, this is a place where we have been safe till now. We don't know what will happen in the future. Let me pull you back. Let me keep you here so that if you go out, you might get hurt. And I don't want you to get hurt. So let me pull you back. The issue with that is that until and unless we face those fears, yes, we are trying to protect ourselves, but we are also making sure that we don't have a chance at happiness or we don't have a chance at receiving what we want because we are just afraid to face the world. Making your brain feel safe with the idea of being vulnerable is very important. And that is why we keep on talking about how you need to create new habits, how your self concept needs to change. Because as these things change, you will also start to get better and better with dealing with your fears, which will help you manifest things faster. So if in some area you have lesser fears, you would have an easier time manifesting that. But in some area, if you have more fears, if you are in a comfort zone of your own, you will have a difficult time manifesting what you want. Another reason, and this is a very important one, that you have difficulty manifesting things in your life in one area and not the others is because you're not consistent with your actions. So, let's say you're manifesting money and relationships. And as you start manifesting both, you start creating affirmations for both. And as you're working on your relationships, you are constantly consistent, you're not chasing, you're not doing any negative things, you're not stalking, you're working on yourself, you have a life outside of the relationship. But on the other hand, with money, you affirm, you visualize, but you're not really learning anything. You're not really putting the time in to get better at your craft. You're not really, let's say, applying for job interviews. If you're not doing all these things in that area, but in this area, you are consistent with your actions, of course, relationships will manifest faster for you. Now, this can also be different. So some people manifest money faster because they are constantly putting in the action, but in relationships, they are chasing, they are settling, they are stalking, they are social media stalking, and all these things are happening. Because of which they end up in this position where relationships are now getting delayed. Making sure that your actions are aligned to what you want is very important. One big thing that I have understood over a period of time as a coach is that most people think that they're doing everything right, and that is the reason that they keep on being stuck there. That is why an analysis of your situation by yourself or with some coach or with someone who is not really looking at the situation from your lens is very important. I had a client, and what was happening with her was she was in this situationship with this guy who was constantly convincing her that, I will take a stand for you, but he was not. He was also dating other women and everything. And as soon as I talked to her, I told her that, what, you should create a boundary. And she said, why? Because he said this, he's an honest person, and I wouldn't lie to anyone, so why would he? Do you see her fundamental issue was that she was constantly being in this situation where she was settling for less and she didn't even know it yet. Of course, as she pulled away, she started seeing movement, things start to get better in her life. But realizing where am I going wrong is also a very important thing to understand what I can change. So, making sure that your actions are aligned with what you want is very, very important. Another reason why it is easier to manifest things in one area of your life and difficult to manifest things in others is because of your belief system. So, again, this goes back to the trauma point that I made, but a different interpretation and a different branch of knowledge that can come from this is that when we are coming from a particular place where we have had abundance of one thing in our life in the past, we will constantly assume that getting abundance in that area is normal. So, if I have always been loved, I will assume that love is anyway freely available. If I have constantly gotten money, I will feel that money is anyway easily available. So, my belief system will tell me that getting this thing is easier and getting the other one is more difficult. Not because it actually is difficult, but because it has been difficult till now for me. So my subjective experience tells me that receiving these things is actually very, very difficult. Hence, I also look at it from scarcity. Hence, I also settle in it. Hence, I also am desperate over it. Because of which I keep on going back and forth with my desires and I keep on getting less and less of results. This is why making sure that I am very consistent with my changing my beliefs and making sure that my self concept is aligned with what I want is really important. So I hope this video helps you. I hope if you had any questions in relation to why do some things manifest fast for others or why do you manifest fast in some areas of your life, that this video clears it up with you. I will see you guys in the next video and hope you have a great day ahead.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe and share if you liked the video. The link for my one-on-one coaching, my self-help courses, and my free newsletter are in the description box below.